Welcome to Khan's Digital World. The host here is our world-famous author, professor, consultant and advisor, Dr. Badrul Khan. Today, Dr. Khan's guest is a well-known CPA of this region, Mr. Adil Baloch of Accurate Records and Tax Services. Let's hear these two gentlemen talk to us about eTaxing.
Welcome to Khan's Digital World. I am Badrul Khan. As I always say, that we are living in a society, we use a lot of technologies. So this technology-based society, every transaction that we do are creating a new world. We call it digital world. Some of you may say, oh, I don't see digital world, but know that you are in it. So in the digital world, there are a lot of issues that we do. When you go for shopping, going for dinner, taxing, all different activities that we do, these are matters for digital world. So today, our episode of Khan's Digital World is on eTaxing. So I'm so honored to have my guest, Mr. Baloch. And welcome, Mr. Baloch, to Khan's Digital World. How are you today?
Good, good.
Very good. Well, we as citizens all over the world, we pay taxes. Before, we used to do taxing through paper taxing. Now it's paperless, all digital. So we're going to have today, we're going to discuss about how one can do e-taxing virtually, especially in the United States. So Mr. Baloch is going to talk about, as a CPA, how he deals with the customers and how e-taxing that goes on in the US and how well is done on virtually. So Mr. Baloch, just talk to me about what is e-taxing and how is different than the 1040 we used to do.
Yeah, the good old paper filing. What we have now in place, as you probably know, the IRS actually requires pretty much everybody to file e-file their taxes. If you're not e-filing, they would like for you to tell them why you're not doing that. Being a professional myself, if a client of mine is not interested in e-filing the tax return, I actually have to provide a reason why they're not doing that. It could be as simple as the client did not want to e-file. If I'm doing a paper return, that's what the IRS wants me to do. Otherwise, I am required to e-file everything. Just because of the technology, as you know, as soon as a tax return is filed, everything matches. Your 1099s, your W-2s, everything matches electronically. Whether it gets accepted or not, or rejected, your last name has to match with the social security number, so on and so forth. It has become really easy. The due diligence, the front end checks and balances on the tax return itself, it has become so easy because of that e-filing process that the rejects happen instantaneously. You file a return right now. By tomorrow morning, you will know whether it was accepted or not. They will let you know instantaneously whether the tax return was accepted or not.
So it seems that e-filing is good for us because if you do it right, we might get our return fast.
Correct. Absolutely right. As a matter of fact,
and it comes through your bank.
Correct.
Directly.
Correct.
So you don't have to go to your mailbox to look for extra money if you are expecting some.
Correct. Yeah. Absolutely right. You e-file your tax return, it gets accepted, everything matches with what the IRS already has in their database. Your refund, within 2 to 3 weeks, your refund goes to your bank account directly, and that's how simple that has become now.
And also I see the added benefit to it, since you're living in a digital world, all these files you transact and send and receive. So once you're done e-filing, the record is online or in the electronic format.
Correct.
So you can able to submit it to wherever you want that to be.
Correct, absolutely. So even as early as about 10 years ago, we would actually physically mail out hundreds of tax organizers to clients at the end of the year. Sometimes people might lose them, they might not make it to where they were supposed to. People move, physical addresses change, email addresses do not change as much. So what has happened in my own practice, what we use is we use a virtual office. Tax organizers actually are uploaded to the portal that the client owns. Only they have access. They actually have to log in. They have their own user ID and password. There's a Citrix patch that actually insulates it, so it's actually encrypted. The technology being at the advanced level that it is now, there's 30, 40 instantaneous backups to that data, so it's almost impossible to lose that data. It's as simple as a client logging in, filling out the tax organizer, sending it back to us. We get a prompt through email that it's ready. We pull it up on one screen and then pull up the tax software on the other screen, and you just prepared the tax return. Just a click of a button, the tax return actually is emailed to the client. As a matter of fact, for a little bit of, just a tiny bit of additional cost, the clients can actually e-sign it as well and send it back to us. So you don't even have to get the actual physical signature on the paper. If they wish to, some people feel comfortable just signing it physically and then sending it back. That even is as simple as just printing 2 pages, signing it and uploading those back, and then we download at our end, and then we e-file. As a matter of fact, when you e-file and your tax return gets accepted, I don't have to do anything to let you know that your tax return was accepted. And an automated email goes to you with a timestamp, the confirmation number from the IRS or the state. You get a separate email for federal and a separate email for the state. It tells you exactly what time your tax return was filed and what time it was accepted. Here's your confirmation number. Everything is there. There's no papers changing hands. Everything is digital, everything is electronic, it is secure. As I said, it's encrypted. It has made the process so much more efficient now as it used to be compared to, as I said, as early as 10 years ago. It has cut down on the process almost by I would say, 200%.
Very good. Seems like it's a good thing to do.
It's a good thing,
and it's a must thing to do.
Absolutely.
So it seems that how secure you feel as you're submitting for your client, and how secure individual clients feel about it?
That's always has been a challenge as far as explaining it to the client. We see what it is because we have some robust solutions out there. The one that I use, obviously, it's a very well-known software. It's very secure. They guarantee everything. But of course, as you said, it has always been a challenge. Training educating the end user, it has always been a challenge.
Very good. Mr. Baloch, it's so nice to have you.
Thank you.
Viewers, eTaxing is a part of our digital world. We have to do it, and we have people to help us. And thank you. I'll see you next time with another episode of Khan's Digital World.